First at 5, the prosecution rested in the Cardell Hayes murder trial, and the defense now has the floor. Good evening, I'm Scott Walker.
And I'm Adriana Hopkins. Jurors heard from 16 witnesses and 4 days of testimony. So now the defense of Cardell Hayes is underway. WDSU's Travers Mackel is at criminal court with more on what their strategy will be.
Well, their strategy is to show that Cardell Hayes was not the aggressor and acted in self-defense. Their first witness, a private eye who works for John Fuller, just got off the stand, and a lot of legal analysts feel like it didn't go well. He said that he interviewed a witness who saw Billy Saravolo, a police officer, removing a gun from Smith's car, but he couldn't identify the witness. He didn't take notes. He didn't take any pictures of her, and a lot of people felt it was not the best first witness to call for the defense. But once again, the defense has started to present its case. Hayes' defense lawyer has worked to showcase inconsistencies in the stories told by Will Smith's wife Raquel and their 2 passengers on the night in April when the former Saints defensive end was shot and killed. The state rested after calling 3 witnesses on Friday, a crash reconstruction expert who told jurors that, in his opinion, Hayes intentionally rammed Smith in the Lower Garden District last April prior to shots ringing out. Dr. Samantha Huber, a forensic pathologist, also took the stand. She works for the Orleans Parish Coroner's Office and gave a detailed explanation of how Smith was shot and killed. During that testimony, Smith's widow Raquel sobbed uncontrollably and had to leave the courtroom crying. The final witness was Billy Saravolo. He was with Will Smith at Saki Cafe the night Smith died and was one of the last people to see him alive. For months, defense attorney John Fuller has accused Saravolo of tampering with evidence at the scene when Smith was shot and killed, and even said at one time that he'd provide a witness to back up that story. But on the stand today, Saravolo denied any wrongdoing and only said he went to the scene after being called and told his friend had just been shot and killed. Was the Billy Saravolo aspect of this a sideshow distraction by John Fuller?
Yes. Yes.
And once again, that private investigator just got off the stand. Prosecutors pressed him, asking him for any type of video or evidence to show that Saravolo tampered with the scene. And once again, that witness could not provide anything or even a name of the person who saw it. The defense, is calling its second witness. They've called a St. Tammany Parish Sheriff's Deputy, Madeline Collins. It's our understanding she may testify about ballistics for the defense, but she just took the stand about 2 minutes ago, so we'll have much more from her coming up at 6 o'clock. For now, we're live in Mid-City. I'm Travers Mackel, WDSU News.
All right, thanks, Travers. And we are joined right now by legal analyst attorney Robert Jenkins.
And Robert, let's start with this private investigator that, for lack of a better term, sounded like kind of a mess on the stand today.
All the legal analysts in the courtroom all agree that this was bad for the defense. And what he did in front of the jury was support what Billy Saravolo said. He didn't do anything. He actually said, we found no evidence that he did anything wrong. And that flies in the face of the defense opening statement that someone removed evidence from the car. So that hurt them in front of the jury.
And what was the strategy here by calling that private eye? You said he was maybe buying time before Cardell Hayes takes the stand?
I believe that he was setting the stage for Mr. Hayes' testimony, laying the groundwork for what Cardell would say, but it seemed to have backfired in the sense that he said things that supported the prosecution. So we'll see what these other witnesses are going to say. It's hard for me to believe that the St. Tammany deputy is going to come in and state that the autopsy protocol that we'll see later is incorrect or improper.
Yeah, we can take a look at that as we continue to discuss the bullet wounds where Will Smith had those entry wounds in the back, in those 7 spots that hit him in the back, and 1 where it exited his body for a total of 8 wounds. When you look at what happened with the lead up to Cardell Hayes today, what you and others thought was the lead up to Cardell Hayes with that PI, and now Cardell is not next. What does that tell you?
I'm sure that what's going to happen between now and tomorrow is that they're going to go back and sit down with Cardell and go over his testimony. So what happened with this witness doesn't happen with him for sure, because he's the key. Hopefully they will be able to put Cardell on and he'll be able to do it smoothly, but it's very difficult in light of the autopsy protocol and what the other witness saying about the shots in the back.
Yeah, because your whole thing is the prosecution has done a good job of matching the evidence to say that Will Smith was retreating, and today's expert witness said that he was upright, he wasn't leaning forward, grabbing for anything.
Sure.
And so Cardell Hayes has to provide some sort of explanation.
He has to rebut that in some form or fashion, and we've done a lot of murders and autopsy protocol, and there's nothing coming downward or upward. It's merely walking straight away, so it's very difficult. And I'm really curious to see what the St. Tammany deputies are going to say about the autopsy protocol.
All right, we'll get back to refreshing Twitter, and we'll see. Thank you, Robert. Our coverage of the trial continues daily on air and online. You can download the WDSU app and follow us on social media as well. Travers Mackle is doing an excellent job tweeting everything from the courtroom.